Good evening, you're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up tonight, we hit the streets to see if you can guess the local word. And we visit a primary school in Hull and take a look at their new playground. And joining me in the studio to talk cider and folk music is Alan Cowood from the Signal Box Inn at Leethorpes. Welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Emma Lingard, but now it's over to Erica Barker for the news roundup.
Hello, the headlines today. Leethorpes has lost its Blue Flag Award, which marked it as having one of the best beaches for the first time since 2008. Criteria include standards for water quality, safety, environmental education and information. But the Keep Britain Tidy organisation has awarded the town's beaches the Seaside Award, which it gives to those that meet the highest standards for cleanliness. There are plans to reopen the gas-fired power station at Keedby near Scunthorpe by the end of October. It's announced that Fairbridge Power Station on the West and North Yorkshire border will close by March 2016, with energy company SSE saying it is no longer economically viable. And 38 full-time posts could be axed at Shoreline Housing Partnership in North East Lincolnshire due to restructuring. That's according to Chief Executive Tony Bramley, who says they will be working closely with local trade unions to seek to mitigate the impact. The restructure process will run until early September. And in the week leading up to Hull City's final match of the season against Manchester United, one of their players has presented prizes to 4 lucky winners, courtesy of City Healthcare Partnership Foundation in Hull, which offers grants of up to £1,000 for projects or events which have a positive impact on the health and well-being of the community. Right back, Liam Rosenior gave away signed T-shirts and match day tickets to the youngsters, including Harvey Wilkinson, who had his dad David Wilkinson by his side.
Is it great that you've got to be able to meet a player?
Yeah.
What did you think when you met him?
That he's a good player.
We entered the competition when we found the card on the back of a seat at Hull City. We're both season ticket holders and Harvey saw it and asked if we could enter the competition.
I'm just a normal person, you know. I'm really lucky to do a job that I love, but I remember being a little boy and looking up to footballers. And it's really important that when you have that role in society that you can give something back. And
average speed cameras installed on the A180 near Immingham are now turned on. The Highways Agency says they will be used to enforce the 50 miles per hour speed limit to ensure the safety of road users and road workers. Until next time, goodbye.
Now this weekend sees the 7th Leethorpes Folk and Cider Festival begin, serving many varieties of cider and real ale. It has become a big hit in the resort. And joining me is Alan Cowood, licensee of the Signal Box Inn. Alan, welcome to the show. Now this festival seems to have grown in size 7 years. What makes it so special?
Well, the Folk Festival has been in Leethorpes for a lot longer than 7 years. It used to be more in the centre of the resort, at the Winter Gardens, but unfortunately that was pulled down. We took the mantle over as Leethorpes Coast Light Railway to continue what is to everybody a fantastic weekend of drinking, fun, dancing, you name it, and it goes on, an impromptu like playing of guitars and singing in between like changeovers, and that it is just a fun event.
And you attract people from all over, don't you, that come to this big event?
Because the Signal Box Inn is the smallest pub in the world, like it's a novelty for a lot of people.
Right.
But what we put on is such a variety of musicians. These are sorted out in the whole by Merlin's Keep,
right,
which is a local folk group who are in contact with anybody and everybody in the scene. We also have the Morris Dancers.
Okay.
They're called Sides of Morris Dancers.
Right.
I only found that out this year. And I believe there are 5 sides that are dancing as
Okay.
well. One of which I believe is all female.
Right.
Traditionally, there seems to be more males than females.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, there is something that will amuse so many people, even though it is a serious event.
Yes.
There's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes and continues all through the weekend.
Wow, I mean, this is it, because it runs from the Saturday to the Monday, doesn't it?
That's it. We start, the bars open at 11 o'clock on the Saturday and close at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
The music starts at 12 o'clock on the Saturday and goes through to 10:30
Okay.
at night. On the Sunday, the same format, except they finish at 10 o'clock, just in case they need to get to late mass.
Right.
And on the Monday, we start at the same time but finish at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Because we like to have a little early night on the
That,
Monday.
that's it. After what is getting a certainly busy weekend, do you have any idea how many people actually come to the festival?
We estimated last year's were at 5,000.
Heck. That's
At
a
any one
lot.
time, you would be looking that there'd be about 400, 450 moving through.
Right. Right.
But we're looking at the 3 days. Last year was not an exceptional year. It was a very good year. Weather was very good. This year's promising to be a very good year as well.
Because this is it, I suppose with the signal box in being as small as it is, you're not going to get many people in there. I mean, the weather, does it have a big effect, really? Or, you know, I know people can sit actually on the platform, can't they, and shelter under there.
The thing is, the signal box in is 8 foot by 8 foot, or 2.4 metres by 2.4 metres. It has the wonderful system of one person in and one person out. So there's never any arguments about who you're behind in a queue. And the thing is, when you've got 2 staff behind the bar, it's extremely efficient.
Yes.
And when you actually look at and study people working behind bars,
Yeah.
they wander about all over the place.
They can't do in there, can
No,
they?
your feet do not move.
And you stay where they're. Well, I'm going to cut you there. We will come back to this, but we've got to move on to the next bit. You're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up, we visit the North Holt Primary School with a new playground, and Erica Barker will bring you the local sports news. And of course, it's Wednesday, so it's time for another What You Say. Can you guess the meaning of this local word?
Can't remember that one.
Getting told off.
Getting told off.
Oh, that's my mother used to do that to me, telling me off.
Somebody's telling you off.
Talk to rather voraciously.
You're in trouble, you're getting played over, someone's upset with you.
Getting told off.
Shouted at.
You've been told off. It's a typical word, that chowder, isn't it? You get told off. He's been chowed, she's been chowed. She's been told off.
Told off. Shouted at. Told off by mum and dad.
Shouted at.
Grief in here.
Getting grief. Told off. Told off.
You're getting told off. Something like told off. You.
Well, still with me is Alan Cowards here to talk about the folk and side fest. And you knew that word, didn't you, Alan?
I certainly did.
I hope some of your customers don't tell you off then when it's one in, one out. Is it quite a pleasant atmosphere?
It's a crazy atmosphere. Because we've got everything there. We have real ales.
Yeah.
Beers on the gas.
Yeah.
We tend to stock between 21 and 27 different ciders all the time.
Yes.
I don't like stocking too many in the pub
Right.
because I don't want to compete with these big pubs that might have 3. We have still ciders, we have bubbly ciders, we have cloudy ciders, we have clear ciders, we have flavoured ciders.
Every cider under the sun. And you're a free house, aren't you, as well?
That's correct, yeah. We're not tied to any of the big pubcos.
Yeah.
We have the flexibility, and the thing is, the reps from all the breweries and that don't particularly like me.
Right.
Because my thing is, the price has got to be right.
Yeah.
I don't believe in ripping people off.
Okay.
We have quality products at a good price.
Yeah.
And you can always have a laugh.
Bet you can. Now, talking about cider, I mean, there's a big surge in cider being quite popular again, isn't there? There's a lot of like you said, flavoured ciders.
Yeah, or as I call them, girly drinks. I don't like to keep too many.
I do like those girly drinks, I have to say, Al.
I don't like too many girly drinks, but the thing is, the ones we keep tend to be natural.
Right.
I don't like all the chemicals. I try to get people off chemicals and onto natural things. That's where the real ale comes in as well.
Yes, yeah.
But for lots of people, they like a name because it's advertised on television.
Yeah.
And certain ones don't advertise, but a better quality.
Yes.
And better for you.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the thing with it. You know, it's about having a good drink, but it's something that is decent for you, and not being stung in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like.
How did you get into this then? Because you were a teacher at some point in your career, haven't you? And now you've moved into the pub trade and railways as well.
Oh yeah. I'm not a puffer nutter. That is. I was a senior lecturer at Grimsby College, and due to changes in work practices, I moved on.
Yeah.
And I've been involved with Leethorpes Coast Light Railway for many, many years, you know, over 20 years. I do like anything with wheels on, or with an engine in. My background is I am an engineer.
Okay.
With regard to how I got into the signal box side of things, a young couple actually started the signal box. They had the idea. The box itself came from Scunthorpe.
Right.
From Santon iron ore mines.
Okay, so it's authentic.
Oh, it's over 100 years old. It is genuine signal box.
Yeah.
We've just got a problem on one of the windows at the moment, like that's not there, but that'll be sorted at some point. But yeah, we get people who know the signal box.
Oh, right.
Like
from the days, yeah.
Yeah, and others are just amazed at what is created in there. The young couple actually moved on partway through the lease, and we had a temporary licensee in while I got my license, and then I sorted things out, and from it ticking over, and that it's moved up to a very, very high level.
Right.
And each year we better ourselves in choices for people, qualities. We really work hard at it.
So say this event, because the size that it is, do you find you're planning for the next one the minute this weekend's going to be over?
We are, and the thing is, this year I just feel we've made it because from Somerset a call came in Monday from a cider maker who'd read an article about the cider festival, and my name was there, and he tracked me down.
Wow.
And literally out of the blue, and he was requesting could his ciders be sold like there, and hopefully they're being couriered up as we speak now.
That's brilliant though, isn't it?
Yes, rather than me chasing with the boots on the other foot.
It is.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I do feel like we've made it. I have that on the beer side of things, but not on the cider. But the thing is, companies do support us tremendously, and I will be having deliveries on Sunday and on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday as well. Brilliant. I can guarantee it.
They'll be all there. We're going to have to leave it, but thank you so much for coming in. And obviously, if people want to go to that festival, that's taking place from Saturday to Monday at the Leethorpes Coast Light Railway. Thank you, Alan.
Free.
And it's free, and lots of music and dance.
That's right.
Right, a primary school north of Hull has had an entirely new playground fitted after £40,000 worth of investment. The school says it'll help the children in learning and processing new environments. As you can imagine, the children love it, as I imagine Richard Morris did.
After a £40,000 investment, this primary school in Hull is already feeling the difference in the happiness of their children. Broadacre Primary School used Eden Outdoor Play, who managed to get the job done and also teach all the children about health and safety and construction within 1 week. As you might expect, the assistant head teacher is thrilled.
Well, before we had the work done, the playground was very bland. It was just a concrete playground. We had some markings on the playground, numbers 10, hopscotch, you know, those very basic things. We had the bikes and other things like that. But it wasn't really a stimulating environment that had cosy corners that promoted communication and language. We now have a water pump and a river and sand, so it's all about those science, maths and English, you know, experiences that we can get out of that. And we wanted somewhere that was stimulating, inviting for the children, and somewhere where the children wanted to be. Children learn in very different ways. Not every child wants to sit at a desk to learn. The youngest children learn through play, so it's about giving them an environment that stimulates that, where they want to be. And most of the children do want to be outside, and they do want to play outside and learn outside and be explorers and investigate, so that was what we did.
Mrs. Ellerington says it's something which any early years educator should provide, as it's so critical that students don't always sit at desks. And the students absolutely love the transition from concrete to a true outdoor play area.
Children love it. On the day that we opened it, they couldn't wait to get out. They was all stood out the door saying, me, me, me. Couldn't wait to get out there. And after the initial excitement, the children calmed down and really engaged with the environment and are really using it now. And when you speak to the children, the language, they're talking about one more than one less than pushes, pulls. They're working together, thinking about how they can fill things up, how many, you know, really exploring all that language, literacy and maths in the outdoor area has been amazing.
Well, joining me now in the studio is Estuary TV's Richard Morris, who's here with an update on the political scene in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. Before we talk about what's going on, did you have a go on that play equipment?
No. Did
they give you a chance to play on it?
No, well, they didn't give me a chance, and also it was quite small. I mean, I'm quite tall, and I just had to be quite careful with these. No.
Broken then.
I mean, it was tempting. It was tempting, but I thought to myself, yeah, I can't really bring myself to, you know, I mean, they were all having so much fun on it.
It looked like they were. Now, moving on, we've had some quite sad news.
Yes, and indeed
this
very unexpected news. Deputy Leader of North East Lincolnshire Council, Mick Burnett, died in his sleep on Monday night. He was 68 years old, and obviously, you know, tributes have been flooding in from, you know, across North East Lincolnshire Council from all the different parties. He was a councillor who served for 26 years, and he was only re-elected as Labour councillor of Crossbaker Ward 10 years ago in the local elections. He worked at Coultolds for 27 years from 1973, eventually becoming a shift manager, and before that he had worked at Dixon's Paper Mill. So I mean, you know, a really sort of rounded, a lot of different experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
He was also chairman of North East Lincolnshire Sports Association and a member of the Leethorpes events team. And of course he was also chairman of Links Inspire, and I know Matthew Brown, the councillor, is now calling for, you know, the new leisure centre that's due to be built in Grimsby to be named after him.
Which would be a fitting tribute, because Mick was so involved with the leisure and tourism, wasn't he, within North East Lincolnshire?
Well, of course he was the deputy leader of North East Lincolnshire Council, but on top of that he was also the cabinet member for health, tourism, leisure and culture. So of course all of those things came exactly under his remit. So it would seem rather fitting that, of course, as he spearheaded this new venture into this new leisure centre, that obviously, you know, we might name it after him.
I mean, I know you were saying about the tributes. I mean, we obviously on many occasions got to interview the guy. I mean, he was such a wonderful chap. He always had a smile and a laugh and you know a joke to tell you, didn't he?
I mean, I remember him particularly keenly as a journalist, because I even remember, you know, even last minute he would even come into the office specially just to give us an interview. You know, even if there was no one else available, he would say, "Well, I'm deputy leader, and I'll come in and I'll give you an interview."
He did. He went out of his way, didn't he? And I think you probably got some tributes there, but I think that's what people found with him, that he went that extra mile to help, didn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, in a joint statement, Councillor Chris Shaw and Rob Walsh, obviously the chief executive of the council, have said that he was a real champion of the community, and many of us here have extremely fond memories of his unstinting commitment to helping local people of all ages, and he will be very, very sadly missed by us all.
It is. I have to say, I was shell-shocked when I heard the news. I mean, I know he had suffered health conditions, but it was a blow to everybody.
It was.
I mean, what else have people said? I know we've had a few comments.
Obviously, Matthew Brown has been saying, you know, that he would like the new leisure centre to be named after him. You know, he's also gone as far as to say, you know, he cared passionately about Grimsby and Cleethorpes and always wanted the very best. He was talented enough to be an MP due to his in-depth knowledge and wisdom. So I mean, that you can't really get much higher than that. You know, especially in local councils. You know, when people say that about someone, you know, that's a real that's a real tribute. And I hope the council will name the new leisure centre after him. He wanted the best facility we could get, and it will be thanks to his vision and dedication. So, you know,
sad
all round.
news. Well,
indeed.
I'm going to have to stop you there, unfortunately, but thank you very much for that. A fitting tribute there to Councillor Mick Burnett. Now it's over to the sport with Dan Kemp.
After their playoff disappointment, Grimsby Town boss Paul Hurst has already begun making plans for next season. 8 players, including first-team squad members Ross Hanna, Paddy McLaughlin and Paul Bignett, have been told they can leave. However, the likes of captain Craig Disley, Linnell John Lewis and Sean Pearson have been offered new deals at Blundell Park. The man who missed the crucial penalty in the playoff final at Wembley, John Paul Pittman, has also been offered a new contract. Scunthorpe United have begun to announce their pre-season schedule. The Iron will visit Gainsborough Trinity on Saturday, July the 11th. It'll be played at Northolm Stadium, kicking off at 1 p.m. It's the second friendly to be confirmed, with a home fixture against Bolton Wanderers set for Friday the 24th of July. Humberston golfer India Clyburn, whose home club is Woodall Spa, is amongst those selected to represent England in the Nations Cup. Clyburn will challenge in the St Rule Trophy at St Andrews from May the 30th to the 31st, and she'll tee off at British Women's Championship at Port Stewart Golf Club in Ireland from the 9th of June. Hull Stingrays coach Omar Pasha has expressed his delight at the club's signing of Canadian forward Brett Switzer. Despite interest from other clubs, the 24-year-old from Bentley University opted to join the Stingrays. He posted 110 points in 146 games and was an assistant captain last season. He was also named in the AHA All-Rookie team in 2011-12. And New Yorkshire recruit Glenn Maxwell has said he's excited to get going with the White Rose. The Australian all-rounder has joined the Headingley outfit to play alongside countryman Aaron Finch, who played for the club last season. The Tykes are unbeaten in their opening 4 games with 2 wins and 2 draws. That's all for the sport.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. If you have a story to tell us, then go to our Facebook or Twitter pages. The details are on the screen. Or email news@estuary.tv, or pick up the phone and dial Grimsby 01472 315 553. Until tomorrow, goodbye.
Estuary TV's weather, sponsored by Hornsby's, celebrating 100 years in buses.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Thursday looks to be a dry day, and although it will be rather cloudy at first, it'll brighten up during the morning with some sunny spells in the afternoon. Maximum temperature of 17 degrees. The outlook for Friday is rather cloudy in the morning with some showery rain, but the afternoons becoming drier and brighter.
Estuary TV's weather, sponsored by Hornsby's, celebrating 100 years in buses.